Hello guys, how are you? I hope you are super well. There is a question that I am always asked, and that obviously I have asked myself at some point, and it is whether stuttering is a disease. Is it a disease? Yes or not? The thing is, many people think that stuttering is a disease because people suffer from it, feel pain, it's something that hurts, it's something you have to live with, and many people who stutter also wish that stuttering were a disease or were classified as a disease because, yes, it's true. And in my experience, one experiences it as if it were a disease, but unfortunately, and well, not unfortunately, actually very well. Stuttering is not classified as a disease within the scientific or medical fields because stuttering is considered a disorder, an anomaly, a disruption, something peculiar that happens, and it is not something that is a disease, because a disease is considered something degenerative, something that threatens, so to speak, your health. Let's remember that stuttering in the scientific field is considered a difficulty in neuron motor coordination. Obviously, in my opinion, very few people suffer from stuttering, though I don't like the term suffer, right? They have stuttering due to a genetic condition. But most people have stuttering because it is developed, right? And obviously, in my opinion, I explained this in a video. I know that stuttering is experienced as if it were a disease. I mean, because every day you wake up, you know you have stuttering, and that sets you, it hinders social relationships a lot. It hinders you a lot from carrying out your projects. You're constantly thinking about it. It limits you in many ways. You feel very bad emotionally. It tears you down sentimentally. You're really not well, and honestly, when you haven't overcome stuttering, you're really very unwell, and it is experienced as if it were a disease. But the truth is that an illness, stuttering really is not, because an illness hurts. An illness is something which is something degenerative. I mean, it is something that affects your body, and it makes your life literally fall apart, and it makes you feel bad, you feel pain. And what happens is that stuttering, even if it is experienced like that, when you truly overcome it, you live an incredible life, a literally normal life. Then it happens, I don't agree, because there are many people who try to treat it like whenever anything comes up, like stress, like anxiety, and then they want to categorize it as if it were a disease. And the truth is that if stuttering, if it were classified as a disease, then there wouldn't be that issue of course it would be, in a way, in a certain advantage, it would be given some importance, but the truth is it has nothing to do with it because it is not an illness. It is not an illness. And also, in my opinion and from my experience, it is something that it develops. It's something that throughout childhood until youth and adulthood, if it's not overcome mentally, it's very difficult. It is very complicated to live a peaceful life, and obviously that is why it is suffered as if it were a disease. That is why stuttering is not overcome by doctors, nor by people who, as if they know about speech, or I'm obviously not against speech therapists, but the truth is that stuttering, you overcome it when you do it alone or with the help of someone who has experienced stuttering. It seems very curious to me that many people, when they have, for example, I don't know, they don't have good relationships as a couple, they go to a priest, and then the priest tells them, look, love is this. Couples have to live like this. But the priest has no idea. No idea. I mean, he knows nothing, absolutely nothing. Or suddenly someone has some problem and goes to someone who never had it, or someone wants to be successful and goes to someone who isn't. The same thing happens with stuttering. People go to those who have never experienced stuttering, and I obviously experienced it myself. I had to experience it, and I also had to understand others as well. So it's important for people to understand that when they want to overcome the stage of stuttering, they can overcome it alone if they obviously have a very good mindset. That requires a process. But the most feasible and most important thing, which was in my case, is to follow a person who has had stuttering if that is the most important, because that person knows very well how to handle the topic of stuttering. I do not judge stuttering. For example, this video talks a little about how the fact that in my opinion, it wouldn't be good to classify stuttering as a disease, because then it's like the more it's rejected, the more it persists. And it's not a disease because many who have overcome it don't experience it as a disease. So it doesn't make sense. Furthermore, it would be more complicated because that would create an even bigger label. Imagine if stuttering is considered a disorder now. If it's considered a disease for you, it would be much more difficult to overcome, because then with a disease you have to think, I need to get rid of this. Whereas stuttering is a matter of seeing oneself, a matter of understanding, confronting, realizing, and it's a much more beautiful process. Yes, and obviously I went through it, and that's why I understand people who haven't overcome stuttering, which unfortunately and sadly is experienced as if it were literally a disease, or even worse, literally in my moments, I wanted to replace stuttering with many other things. Moreover, I know that those who have stuttering and haven't overcome it will understand me very well. One often preferred not even to speak. Moreover, one preferred not to speak, or being mute rather than having to stutter. Look at how far one can go with the issue of stuttering. What's more, one would prefer to be in another body. One would even come to think about the fact that one would prefer to be blind than have to stutter. Imagine what the issue of stuttering can reach when it has not been overcome at that stage is completely complicated. Those stages are very complicated, which is why I understand that many people want to consider stuttering as a disease, or that it is experienced as an illness. And well, guys, thank you very, 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 very much, and I hope everything goes great for you.